Hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. It's Wednesday. I was supposed to be on here yesterday. Sorry, I got sick for some reason. All of a sudden, I just felt terrible. So everything was canceled, and I'm here today. So I thank you for all the. I did get quite a few well wishes. So thank you for that. I'm feeling fine today. So it must have just been a bug. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm live. And then I'm going to start talking about what is normal. Hi, Donna. I love it. Donna, you just are so encouraging to always to watch and to comment. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good. Okay, I'm seeing it. Today is about what we think is normal and our life being normal and whether that's really the case and to really think about it and what normal might look like for other people. Hi, Rayetta. Nice to see you virtually. That's and sorry, you're going to hear my two dogs now barking a lot. Sounds like someone just came home. Figures. So I want you to do something with me. I want you to, oh, thank you, Donna. I want you to think about your last week and think about what you did last week. And I have a reason for going through this, but if you think about last week, most of the time, now not everyone, but most of the time, we go to work and whatever our shift or hours are, we go to work. Then we come home and we do our evening things. It might be a meeting, it might be a game, it might be a school play, it might be events, family, friends. That's in the evening, but mostly it's a very short, small window of time that we do that and catch up on chores. Then you have your weekends, which is separate. You have your weekends, which you may either work or you have time off to fit everything else in. And then you have your holidays and your vacations. Those are the really living. That's what I used to say, really living. And that kind of is our rhythm of life. It's a work, it's a weekend, and it's holidays and vacations. And it's split up that way. Now, not everyone. Some people have found the key to this, and maybe they're working in an office or working somewhere that's their passion and their purpose, and it feels like their home. And if so, they've done it. I mean, they've found the key. For me, I had watched my family live this way, and it was normal. My friends, everyone that I was doing life with, was living and working this way. I mean, they were doing the same thing. So on Mondays, we talked about, we go to the office and we talked about how fast the weekend went and what we did. And then we would, on the day back from vacation, we talked about what we did on vacation and how fast it went. And we did life together. When family members died, we were there. When they were born, we were there. I mean, that was normal. Everyone around us was doing what we were doing. So when I started to look at working virtually, I had no idea that I know working virtually was different. We were going to do something online, but I didn't realize that it wasn't just where you were doing the work, it was the rhythm. It was the normal life that I had had, and maybe you too, with your family and your friends, and everyone does it the same way. I'd opened a door to Alice in Wonderland with all these things that people did that made no sense to me. I didn't know existed. And the first rhythm or normalcy that was changed was my start and end time of working. I always had worked like 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. Whatever your working hours are, that's your area of work. And that's how I saw it, work and then home and then weekends and holidays. When I got online, people were doing it differently. They were doing work and home together. So what that meant when I started adapting that to my life is if there was a breakfast with grandmas at 9 a.m. with the grandkids at their school, normally I would either have to take a personal time, sick time, work around with people in order to go to that. I could go to the breakfast muffins with grandma if I want to at school at 9. Then I can start work at 10, 11, 12, whenever I want to start. If there is an early ball game, like at 3 that I want to be at, instead of working through my lunch, trying to leave early, maybe taking vacation time with it, I just would go to the ball game at 3 o'clock. And then I may work after dinner that night, or I may work longer the next day. I mean, my living, which was for me things with the grandchildren or things with friends and family, could be smack dab in the middle of my workday, smack dab in the middle of the first part of the day. And I wasn't begging for anything from anyone. I was building that life in the midst of my work. And so that the first normal thing that went away when I started working virtually was a start and end time. That probably was the biggest thing for me, because I was so ingrained with, you show up at this time, you leave at this time, and you focus on work while you're at work, and you don't, you really compartmentalize everything, or at least try to. I didn't always do very well, but I tried to. That was the first thing that went away. So to get rid of that, the second thing that I realized, that the relationship building, I knew that my friends and what I considered my family were the people I worked with, and we, like I said, doing life together. Well, virtually in my mind, I would have thought normal means being in that office, doing life with them. Their kids went to the same schools, or we were at least in the same building, and I knew their habits, I knew their sports teams. We knew all of that together, and that was normal. Abnormal online, I didn't know how that was going to work. I mean, how am I going to do life with people when I'm working virtually? So that was the second thing that changed. Normal for me now is expanding my friends and family way more than I did in a building. One of my clients just moved from Arizona to Mexico. There were several reasons they moved there. He still works. He's considered an expat. Still works and does everything, but he does it online. And my knowledge of Mexican culture and what he's going through, and how he's, working with utilities, and the type of animals that roam in his yard, and what kind of festivals they have, and when it's quiet there and when it's noisy. I'm learning so much more than I ever would have learned about that culture and about many things sitting in an office, because my reach is wider. So it's normal now for me to find out about people in different parts of the country, or to know about, I know when his wife has problems. I know when has a reunion that, he's not sure about. We talk all the time online to each other, and on the phone, and face to face. So my reach is wider. I have another client that is a pharmacist. She's an independent pharmacist, and she is like uber smart. I forget if she lives in Arizona. I think she lives in Arizona, but she's uber smart, and she teaches me. She's really great to work with, and she teaches me so much just in the way she talks and the things she's telling me about her company and how she works it, and her family and her children, and I'm doing life with them. So I'm saying that common and normal, what used to be common and normal to me, and I thought everyone lived this type of life, this normal life, is not so anymore. I've now found that there are a lot of people that have a normal life that looks a lot different than what I had. And I know there are a million other views out there and a million other ways to live. But this was just my personal experience, that I'm getting to experience a blending of friendships and life together, and work and home. And I like to mentor. Used to do Kids Hope all the time. And I could go see a child at school in the middle of the day without taking lunchtime, or without taking personal time. I've joined a small Bible study with my church, and I don't have to worry about the time. If it's at 10 in the morning, I can go, or if it's at 7 at night, I can go. Love that. So you can put what's important in your life all the time, instead of just segmenting it to the weekends and the holidays. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand? What I'm trying to convey is that we think we can't move out of that because this is the way everyone lives. This is what everyone does. And building a life that is part life, part work, part your mission, your purpose on being on this planet, it can all blend together, so you're doing it every day. And I'm passionate about teaching that and showing you how to do it, if that's what you're interested in. Not everyone wants that, but if you're interested in that, I am passionate about showing you. So I wanted to show you how life looked normal, I thought, for me, and that everyone did it that way. And then I had my eyes open to, no, everyone doesn't do it that way, and you don't have to do it that way. And there's a lot of joy in doing it a different way, if you so choose. So that's what I wanted to talk to you today about. Encourage you that this life is possible if you want to work and have more of what you want in each day. You can go to my website and sign up to get my free tips on how to get started as a virtual assistant or working online, and that's at stephaniebrote.com, and it's the first thing you'll see when you get on my site. But also, I want to let you know that I will have my free masterclass or webinar coming up. I'll tell you about it next week. It's going to be a good one. It's for beginners, so it's about working online. It's going to be the well, I don't want to give it all away, but it's for beginners about working online. I think you guys are going to like it. So I'll be telling you about that next week. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday and a good weekend. And I will see you next week. It'll be back on Tuesday because I don't plan on being sick. So I will see you guys then. And thanks for joining me. And let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you soon. Bye.